Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 86. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And it's our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from previous games from the previous day. It's the start of the weekend. How are you this Saturday, Ja?
Good, chilling. Doing well.
That's good to hear. You're not tired?
Again, I will always be tired. Every human being will be tired, but I'm good.
I feel you on that. I'm doing good as well, even though I'm tired. But it is the weekend, so I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day. You know what I say about the weekends. Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy this moment to relax and just sit back and chill and listen to our podcast. Speaking of our podcast, this episode, a lot of action from last night. A lot of close games. I think 8 out of the 11 games that were played were finished in single digits.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot to go over. So let's just start off with the rematch from a few nights ago in their Wednesday's matchup, in which the Bucks held off the comeback against the Celtics, in which Daniel Tice missed so badly in the game winner that he got traded off the team. So no Daniel Tice in a new look Celtics team, and they came to play last night. They look different, the Celtics, in the way they played, in their energy, in their offense, in their defense. Almost like, if the Celtics were actually playing like the Celtics. Almost. Play with a lot of energy, a lot of heart. Marcus Smart, Tatum, and Brown. Not Tatum and Brown. Mark Smart, Tatum, and Walker. Sorry. Brown did good too, but specifically those three. Really just their offense and their scoring just really helped the Celtics team.
Yes.
Meanwhile, for the Bucks, not a lot from them. They were struggling. Giannis, not in terms of his field goal percentage was struggling, but in terms of him not being as aggressive as he usually is, struggling. And that's credit to the Celtics defense. Got the ball out of his hands a lot. And without Giannis being, that center of attention, that focal point, kind of just is rocky for the Bucks. Everybody else has to step up, and not many did. And really, that's really was the story of the game. Celtics, with a big win, playing hard, fighting, playing good defense on Giannis, creating offense. Marcus Smart 23, Tatum 34, Kemba Walker 21, and the Bucks didn't have a single man in having 20 points in the game. So credit to the Celtics team, a big win.
Yeah. Again, I had them for the bounce back win, and they proved me correct. And I felt like that momentum of them having that near comeback last game kind of gave them some kind of fulfillment. As again, they have been inconsistent, and again, they're going against a really talented team, a championship contending team in the Bucks. Just like what you say, Giannis, the one brother was limited, but not the other. He was bringing the energy a little bit. I'm not even going to lie to you for that.
Yeah.
But even despite the fact that Giannis didn't put much up in the scoring category, and that the Celtics had a big lead for majority of the game, I'm surprised that it still ended up finishing in a single digit situation.
Sorry, not to cut you off. My fault. Keep going. I'll talk after.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You good?
This nigga love man. I love saying, the Bucks. Yeah, it finished in single digits, but it didn't feel like a single digit loss.
Exactly.
But as you were saying,
exactly. It didn't feel like a single digit loss. It felt like the Bucks shot won this by, like, if I'm being honest, by like 30. I'm not gonna lie. Like, again,
the Celtics.
Celtics. The Celtics shot won this by, it felt like, by 30. Like, you limited one of the best players in the world, a reigning MVP, and like, you again, nobody in the Bucks team scored 20. You know what I mean? So it felt like as if you really extremely outplayed them, but yet it doesn't show that on the scoreboard. But just, again, good all around by the Celtics. You know what I mean? They're in let's hope that they could take this stride and continue to do something better rather than continue to be inconsistent.
Yes, yes, I agree with you. Credit to the Celtics, big win. Celtics getting the win. Evan Fournier, if anybody's wondering, did not play for this game. The man that was just traded to their team. But yeah, Celtics playing like the actual Celtics. Snapping the Bucks 8-game winning streak. So credit to the Celtics. Let's see if they can use this win to get on the, let's say, consistent track. All right. The other game on the night's other primetime game, the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Golden State Warriors. No Curry for the Warriors, and well, they needed him. Let's just say that. First half dominance by the Hawks. John Collins dominant. Trae Young dominant.
Mm-hmm.
For the Warriors, not that much. Wiggins did his thing. Yeah. Had 28 in the game. Tried to keep them in, but missing that star player in Curry. Also missing defense, and as a result, Hawks just got the win.
Well, yeah, I think you sum it up real well right there. Hawks fully healthy, have their star. Like, you know what I mean? It's their whole team is clicking. Is there really much? And again, then you got the Warriors who missing their firepower. They're missing their firepower. Mm-hmm. So it's like, as a result, the only way you could do it is from the beginning of the tip. That's the only way you could win this game, from the beginning of the tip, and try to outplay and outsmart a team when you're at a disadvantage. But yet, of course, they couldn't do that. So as a result.
Yeah, John Collins really, really did his thing. I mean, 38 on the night. I think he had a double-double. 38 and 12 on the night. That's what I love to see from John Collins. You know, we have been talking about him. We're high on him. He has a lot of potential. And yes. I feel like sometimes he shows it, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I feel like give him some time. Hopefully that starts to come up, start to rise, potential start to really show. And these are just one of those games where that potential did show and how dominant he was in this game.
Yeah, man. Him and Trae Young are again have been deadly for this team for since last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Since last season or 2 seasons ago, I don't remember when Trae Young was drafted.
Trae Young was drafted 2 seasons ago.
Okay, 2 seasons ago. So yeah, they've been together for this amount of time, and they have shown progression. Well, Trae Young has always been at that level, but him and John Collins as a duo and what they're able to establish, because don't forget, John Collins, I think he averaged like 18 last season, like 18, 20 last season. Like, they have been just like they're getting better together with their chemistry, their position. Like, you've seen it in the beginning, but now it's finally starting to get to that point where it could go places. It could go places than what we're thinking of.
Yes. The Hawks bouncing back from those back-to-back losses that they just suffered. And quick note about what you just said, John Collins averaged 21 last season, 21 and 10. This season, he averaged an 18. But, good dominant win by the Atlanta Hawks. All right. As I said, there were a lot of close games, a lot of single-digit wins, a lot of single-digit losses. So let's get into it. What should we start off with first? What should you want to go over first? Anything that you notice around the league?
The Jazz versus Grizzlies. It started off close, and then of course the Red Hat Jazz, being who they are, you got to play at their pace, like always, and they caught a great amount of momentum throughout that second half in that third quarter. But again, this Grizzlies team, your sleeper team, they have a lot of heart. You cannot keep this team down, and that's what they basically did, led by Ja. They started playing defense, playing as a team, and as a result, they started getting their own shots, getting well into the game, and they was after being down by, I believe,
They was down in the start of the fourth quarter. It was down by 16.
Yeah, they were down by 16. They was able to make it into the single digits, and it was able to bring it really close
yes.
into the fact in which, Dylan Brooks hit a huge streak to bring it into like 3.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Bring
down
it
by
three.
3. And even though that they had another opportunity, and what is shocking, Mike Conley beat Ja Morant out. I couldn't believe that happened.
Oh, yeah. I don't. Wow.
Wow, you could really out jump a leaper. That's crazy.
Experience.
Experience.
He timed it right. Josh
Yeah,
still young.
Yep, he did time it right, because I was just like, whoa, he beat Ja Morant out in a jump ball situation. Because if Grizzlies got that possession, that would have been an opportunity for them to. I don't remember how much seconds were on the clock, but I know they had to go quickly.
Yes, they had to go very quickly.
That could have been an opportunity for them to just throw up a shot from the 3. But yeah, smart veteran savvy move by Mike Conley to win that jump ball and knock it out of bounds to end the game.
Yep. Also, a quick note: they also had a chance to tie the game even before that, in which Dylan Brooks had a 3. After he made 3, he had another opportunity to hit a 3, and that didn't go in. And yeah, then the jump ball situation happened. As a result, this Jazz team beats a gutsy, gritty Grizzlies team.
Yeah.
And by the way, Donovan Mitchell was on a tear in that fourth quarter. He didn't want to lose.
Hey man, Spider is always, well, I'm not gonna say always, because there's gonna probably be times where, of course, he's not gonna always be there. But majority of the time, like I say, 90% of the time, Spider is always gonna come up big for that Jazz team down in the clutch. That's just him. He's gonna hit shot after shot. He's gonna be their bucket getter, because that's the only true firepower bucket getter that they got. I'm talking about firepower bucket getter. I know, understand that they got Clarkson, and they got O'Neal, and they got Ingles, and they got Bogdanovich.
O'Neal ain't no bucket getter.
Well, not O'Neal, but you know
Bogdanovich, Ingles, yes. I heard the other two, yes.
like those are the guys. Even if they give you buckets, like Donovan Mitchell is their engine offensively. He's their engine offensively. So that's what I mean when I say that. So,
yes, I'm in agreement with you 100% on that. I mean, he is their star player.
Yes.
And he is an elite scorer in this league. So yeah.
You're in 2K. But yeah.
Let's not even go into that right now. Please. All right. Next game.
Next game, really disappointing to me. But the Pelicans versus Nuggets.
Your surprise team.
Yes, my surprise team. The Pelicans went against the Nuggets in the Smoothie King Center. And let's just say,
why did you have to say the Smoothie King Center?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Pelicans play fruity down the stretch.
Oh man.
But there you
go. Let's be honest. The Pelicans had a huge lead. They had a huge lead for majority of the game going into that second half. And then all of a sudden, you just seen the Nuggets. They start to get that fire. Yeah, they start to build up that momentum. You start to see them they were starting to play like as a flowing team. They were getting into the passing lanes. They were passing the ball around, getting to the correct spots to get some shots. And as a result, you start to see things just come up, and then you start to see that lead for the Pelicans start to dwindle. And eventually, all of a sudden, you see the Nuggets got the lead. And then it became a back and forth from that point. It became a back and forth. And
they were down by 3.
Yeah, they were down by 3. And all I know, all of a sudden, the Pelicans just went downhill from that point. Even though they were able to fight and they able to keep it close, the Nuggets, being who they are, experienced, have been in this situation plenty of times before, unlike this Pelicans team, was able to not only get the comeback, but they was able to take the win.
Yes, and the Pelicans had a chance. They were down by 3, and they didn't get the shot off. They had a shot clock violation, and that is unacceptable. That is terrible basketball. That's one of the things that you can't do. Like down the stretch, late game, down by 3, seconds remaining on the clock, you cannot take a shot clock violation. You have to attempt a shot.
Yeah, and you can't be getting blocked by Will Barton, Alexander Walker. Just saying.
They don't call me Will Thrill for nothing. Yes. Great win by this Nuggets team. Real little comeback by the Nuggets team. Jokic 37-9 on his MVP campaign, and Zion had 15 points in that first quarter and finished with a career high 39 points on the night. He was beasting. But down the stretch, the Pelicans falling again, as they do countless times.
It seems like a common theme, man. I really wish I could find that stat of how many times they have squandered leads going into the fourth, losing the game. I need to really find that stat if that's even possible. But this is stat for everything, so we might likely find it. But speaking of MVP candidates and people helping out teams, let's talk about the next game. The Nets versus the Pistons.
Yes.
And let's be honest, surprisingly, the Pistons put up a really good fight against this Nets team. I know, of course, no Kyrie and obviously no KD, of course, for the Nets, but everybody was just like both teams were just flowing so well. Okay, so the Nets had the momentum to start off, and then the Pistons they started to build up, started to play more of like a team effort, team style of play. Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee. That's Mason Plumlee, right? Not
Yes, Mason Plumlee. Mason
Plumlee. Like they were just clicking and flowing as a team, and they was
Frank Jackson.
Frank Jackson, yes, like they were all just keeping up with this Nets team, a Nets team that is highly talented offensively. But let's be honest though, Blake was also doing his thing against his old former team.
Yes, his former team. Yes, his first time back in Detroit. I was about to say the Palace, but that's been gone. Back in Detroit playing against his old team. Had a lob.
Yep.
Dunked again. There you go. Few of the stat had 17 points. But we mentioned all these players. You mentioned everything that happened in the game. You mentioned all these players that's not playing, and yet you started off saying an MVP candidate, but I haven't heard his name once.
Let's
and
talk.
He's a big factor in this. So who shall we talk? Who is that man, Ja? Who is that man?
Can you say it? I don't want to say his name.
Who is him? Who are you talking about? Who is that man, that MVP candidate? Who is that man that was dominating? Who was he?
Mr. Faderbeard James Harden. He was going off, finished with, I believe, even though he got fouled out.
There you go. Love the negative. Finished with 44 on the night. James Harden.
And he finished with 44 on the night. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he did, but did he have a triple double?
2 assists shy for a triple double.
Okay, a near triple double. He was one of this team, and he was coming up big down the stretch, hitting bucket after bucket before he got fouled out. To be honest, majority of the clutch buckets that happened down that stretch came from him. He was just creating for his team. He could create shot, one of the best offensive players to play in this generation, and he was just doing his thing down the stretch. So, again, MVP candidate if it makes you feel good.
Makes me feel good. But in the end, the Pistons actually had a chance to win this game.
Oh, yes, they did. And then Corey Joseph baited.
But even if Corey Joseph had a layup, a really easy layup, but he had missed. But even if he made it, I don't think it would have counted.
Because your time went out anyway, so
yeah.
Too late.
But great fight by the Pistons team. Only losing by 2 against this Nets team, even though they didn't have Kyrie. These are the Pistons you're talking about, so you got to give them credit whenever you can.
Yeah.
So great job by the Pistons. Hard-fought win by the Nets. Great play by not you, but him, Blake Griffin. Great basketball by Blake Griffin. 17 on the night and a lob.
Yep.
All right. Other games that happened, I'll just go over them briefly. The Pacers and the Mavericks. Pacers were dominating this game from the first half, as the Mavericks did not have Luka Doncic, so you know where this was going. But despite that, third quarter, the Mavericks let it come back. Porzingis was playing, and he was dominant. 31 on the night, finished with 18 rebounds as well. And they was getting into this game, and at the start of the fourth quarter, it was as close as 4, but Pacers just closed that thing out. Sabonis finishing with 22 and 15 on the night. Brogdon finishing with 22 on the night. And as a result, Pacers beat the Luka-less Mavericks. The Cavs and the Lakers, 2 teams without LeBron, doing battle, and this was close. Cavs really played well. Larry Nance was playing well against his former team. Yeah, and he had a big dunk too. Jared Allen as well, 13 and 11. But it was a third quarter run by the Lakers by Montrezl Harrell, who finished with 24 and 10 on the night. And they just took that run and ran with it. And as a result, the Lakers do beat the Cavs, snapping their 4-game losing streak. The Suns and the Raptors. Gary Trent Jr. did play along with Rodney Hood for their new team in Toronto. They didn't do that much, but Van Vliet played, and he did a lot. 22 on the night. Siakam, spin move master, 26 and 11 on the night as well. And this was a really good game, really close game. The Raptors had themselves trailing, trying to come back from behind, and they did. And they had a chance to stop the Suns. Devin Booker could contest the shot, missed, but the Suns got a rebound, sealed that thing out, and won by 4. The Magic and the Trailblazers. Trailblazers, no Dame for tonight, but Stormin' Norman Powell did play and was big on the night. 22 in his Portland Trailblazers debut. CJ McCollum was also big, 22 on the night, and came up big down the stretch. But this Magic's team played really well despite not having nobody.
Let's not say nobody's. They're NBA players, but
they had some guy named Okiki. I think that's how you say it. Sumi Okiki, and he had 22.
Hey, if he becomes a productive player, you're gonna be taken for blundering his name like that, man.
Okay, that's true. I'm sorry, but he had 22 on the night. James Ennis had 18, came a big down stretch for them as well. Dwayne
Bacon.
Yes. I'm about to say Devin. Dwayne Bacon was also big for them as well, 17 on the night. And like I said, this was a close game, but CJ McCollum and Robert Covington closed that thing out for the Blazers. As a result, the Blazers do pick up the win. And not only that, this was Nurkic's first game back, and he didn't do much, as this was only his first game back, and he didn't play as much as he used to. But he was effective 8 and 8 on the night. So yeah, things are looking up for the Trailblazers. Things are definitely looking up.
Wait, what happened with Michael Carter Williams? Embarrassing.
What happened?
I thought he did vibes. Nobody on the team, I thought he was going to do vibes, but oh well, he didn't.
He hasn't done vibes since he was in Philly. He did. He had a good game. I think he had 11 on the night. But this is not rookie year, Michael Carter Williams, so he wasn't bad.
Embarrassing.
I was just wondering why you said Michael Carter Williams.
That was supposed to be the joke. I was saying nobody on the team. He should be empowered to feel like he's back in his younger years, but yet nah.
He's just a good role player for Orlando.
Yeah, I guess.
You disappointed now?
No, I'm chilling.
All right, good. Philly fans have been disappointed though. But hey, the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets did battle, and my goodness, the Hornets came out with energy I've never seen before. They just came out all the firepower. Malik Monk started off the game hot. Yeah. 16 points in the first 2 quarters, and he for a minute, in the first quarter, and yes, in the second quarter, till halfway in the second quarter, he did not miss a single shot. I mean, he could not be stopped. And the Hornets was up as big as 23 against the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler did play as well. What's going on? Dragic didn't play, obviously, and Oladipo didn't play.
Yeah.
But my goodness.
What does it matter?
What you mean doesn't matter?
You're about to go into it, but does it matter? Like they were about 23. Does it really matter?
No, because the Heat came back.
Exactly. Thank you.
And got into this game and made it a close battle. Jimmy with 20 on the night. Duncan Robinson came up big as well, hitting big threes, trying to get them back into this game. He also had 20. And like I said, they got back into this game. They were really close. But the Hornets still, Malik Monk. My goodness. I mean, he finished with 32 on the night. And I think the last time they played the Heat, didn't he also do this?
Yes, he did do that.
In overtime as well?
He dropped, I believe, 32 in overtime.
I mean, not in had 32 in overtime, but yes, he had 32 points in that game.
And he came up in overtime, hitting the game winner.
Yes. So I mean, this was his first time. I guess he just plays good against Miami. Also, Scary Terry, 26 in his career high, 11 assists on the night as well. And a shocker, the Charlotte Hornets beat the Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat have now lost 6 in a row.
Hey, man, this should be a lesson to all the kids out there in the world. It's never too late to live up to your potential. Just look at Malik Monk. You know what I mean? He's now finally starting to live up to expectations.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes he just has these games where he just goes off.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a lot of players on this team. PJ Washington has those games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Malik Monk. I haven't seen what?
Nothing. No one.
Who you just say?
No one. No, I ain't say.
No, who you just say? Who you just say? Who you just say?
I was joking.
You said Bismack?
No, I said Coach Miller.
I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, great win by this Hornets team, but disappointing how the Heat have been playing as late. Really disappointing. They need Oladipo. And the last, but certainly not least, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Houston Rockets, the powerhouses of the Western Conference, did do battle. And this was so funny to watch. The Houston Rockets got out to let's skip forward into the second half. Houston Rockets got out to a big lead against the Timberwolves. Whereas we're up as big as 16, I believe. Mm-hmm. And in that fourth quarter, they were up 16. And with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go, the score was 101 to 85. The Rockets did not score a single bucket for the next 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The Timberwolves went on a 22-0 run, led by Karl Anthony Towns, who could not be stopped. Sorry, Christian Wood, but you was getting dominated. You was getting dominated. I mean,
had a good game, though.
Yes, he did have a good game, but in that fourth quarter, where it matters, on a 22-0 run, the Timberwolves, like I said, Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, he finished with 29, 16, and 8. And Christian Wood, yes, he did have a good game, 20 and 24 and 9.
Yeah.
And yes, he did have a good game. But I mean, my goodness, Timberwolves just had a huge run. The Rockets had no offense. It looked like they was literally just coughing up the lead. But yet they still had a chance. Ricky Rubio missed a wide open layup. And the Rockets were down by 1. John Wall has the ball in his hands late. I believe like 20 seconds left in the game. And just show the play. This play really just sums up the Rockets season. I'll just leave it at that. As a result, the Timberwolves, in the battle of the powerhouses, defeat the Houston Rockets 107-101.
The only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep it at this, is Now you finally get to see who the worst team in the league is.
Worst team. These are powerhouses.
Powerhouses are what?
Oh man, powerhouses of the Western Conference.
When and where?
The bottom of the Western Conference.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Like powerhouses of purgatory, bro. That's purgatory.
Yep. That is the recap of last night's games. Like I said, a lot of close games.
Yeah. We got to see the powerhouses of purgatory. The Hornets nearly blow a lead, even though they did great. Malik Monk finally living up to expectations. The Pelicans showing what they have been all season long. Well, so far, just embarrassing at times. And Norman Powell proving people wrong in his first game as a Blazer.
We'll see. We'll see. First of all, it was never about Norman Powell. Anyone said it was about Norman in terms of the trade. It's not about Norman Powell. He's having a career year, and he's a great player. It was about
why they made the move.
It just didn't make sense for the Blazers. But we shall see. I mean, congratulations. Yeah, they beat the Magic with nobody. A rebuilding Magic team. You don't need Damian Lillard to beat this new look Magic team.
Yeah. And we got to see a LeBron James list Cavs and Lakers. And we just got to see so much. We got to see so much.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Right?
A lot of basketball. All right, so now let's get into the predictions for tonight's set of games. Starting off with that man's behind me's team coming off of the close game but heartbreaking loss to the Brooklyn Nets, going up against the disappointing Washington Wizards. Who you got?
I got the Pistons, man.
I got the Pistons as well. Next up, the New York Knicks going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Who we got?
I got the Bucks.
I got the Bucks as well, sadly. In a rematch of the Western Conference powerhouses, it is the Houston Rockets going up against the Timberwolves. Coming off of that disappointing loss, the Rockets. What we got?
Skip, please. Please go into next
culture for the podcast. You gotta pick for the pod.
I picked the Minnesota Rockets.
Come on, man. Come on. You gotta pick a team.
All right. I'm a player fan, so I'll pick Karl Anthony Towns.
So you got Timberwolves. Okay.
John Wall.
Pick
Karl Anthony Towns over John Wall. Karl Anthony Towns.
You got Timberwolves. You got Timberwolves. And I got Timberwolves as well. The Chicago Bulls going up against the San Antonio Spurs.
Chicago.
The Spurs. The Mavericks going up against the New Orleans Pelicans.
Mavericks.
The Boston Celtics going up against the OKC Thunder.
The Celtics, but I have a feeling that the OKC Thunder going to pull up some kind of upset.
Possibly. They do tend to do that sometimes.
Yep.
I got the Celtics, even though Shai is going to be out for a significant amount of time, I believe.
Wait, he suffered an injury or COVID?
No, I think it's an injury.
He's injured.
It's not COVID. He's not out for the season, but he's just going to miss some time.
All right.
The Grizzlies against the Jazz in a rematch from their close down to the wire battle from last night.
I still got the Jazz.
As well. The first and only primetime game of the night. The Philadelphia 76ers, led by Tobias and Ben Simmons, going up against the Los Angeles Clippers.
I got the Clippers.
I got the Clippers as well. And just a note, this will be Doc Rivers' first game back against the Clippers.
He deserves a lot of roses, except for 3-1 leads.
He did keep them relevant, so I guess. And lastly, the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Sacramento Kings.
I got the Kings.
I got the Kings as well. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Yo, John Moran, I know you're young, but you can't be losing no freaking jump balls to somebody who could barely get off the ground. No disrespect. I'm sorry, man. You jumped too high to lose that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Mike Conley, but come on now. Come on now.
That's not disrespect. It's not disrespect. But yeah,
honest, man. There's no way. There's no way. That's almost like me winning a jump ball against Shaquille O'Neal if that ever had the opportunity to happen.
That's not. Let's talk about somebody around the same height as you. Maybe not Shaq. You know, that's like you winning over Nate Robinson. Let's say that.
Well, I think a lot of people can win over Nate Robinson as of recently, so probably. I'm just saying.
And when I say something, you say stop.
We're gonna leave Nate out of this. That's the only time I ever said something about Nate, but we're gonna leave Nate out of this.
And now we gotta leave it now. After you just disrespected him.
I didn't disrespect him.
A lot of people can win over Nate recently.
Yeah, as of recently, yeah, man. Cause
stop. No, stop.
Take it back. I take it back. I'm sorry.
It's
Nate.
too late.
I've been having you back.
Record this on YouTube.
I'm gonna edit it out. I'm gonna edit it out.
You're not editing it out. You're not editing it out. You're not editing it out. I still got the original recording, so you can't edit it out.
Okay, you can have the original recording. I'm gonna edit it out.
Okay, and I'm just gonna trim everything else and then release it.
All right, go ahead. Do you
by itself?
All right, go ahead.
So it's now to get more exposure than hidden in this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Remember, don't do that. We're keeping this in.
All right.
Hey, by the way, I'm a player fan. I'm a player fan. He disrespects more players than I do.
Well, because you're a team fan. I'm a player fan. So there's a difference.
What's the difference?
I focus more on players. You focus more on the team as a whole.
You hate on players more than I do.
Well, because I'm a player fan. That's what player fans do. They either love and appreciate, or if when they're doing bad, they gotta show some kind of crazy criticism to them.
You sound like the people in the comments on Bleacher Report.
Don't do that.
Or Instagram. Or ESPN.
Or you know what? Not that. I can't do that part.
Yeah, just leave it like that. Just a quick note for tomorrow's podcast. Early upload as there's a 1 o'clock game. So be mindful of that. 11 o'clock upload instead of 12. 11 o'clock upload. 1 o'clock game. All right. That being said and all that out the way, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast at 11. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also, follow our IG down in the description below.
And once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.